Welcome you guys, I'm NiniFC, this is Blue Lions TV, and welcome to another player ratings video after that 2-2 draw against Valencia last night. Now you guys, I like to break things down by going from 1 to 10 when I give my players a rating, and you know what, before I even get into anything, I need to get the plugs out of the way. Of course, today's video is brought to you by the One Football app. Download the app you guys, just download the damn thing. It's worth it, you'll thank me for it. Help yourself. And for the final plug, massive Black Friday sales happening right now. On the club mega store, you guys, you can get 25% off all club items right now. It's only going to last literally for the next few days. Do not miss out on it. I've already copped something myself, I might get something else as well, you guys. I want to add to my collection. The stuff we've released this year is really on point. And with Christmas being a thing as well, you guys, you know what? If you're planning on getting a special someone, something good, something with quality, something that's going to make them look good as well, why not consider getting them one of the items from the club's mega store? Now, you know what? You'll find all links in the description below. And on that point, boys, let's start with things starting with... Oh, Kepa. Interesting game as always, Kepa mixes brilliance with stupidity. And this is why I'm going to have patience with the player. His moments of brilliance really are world class. I mean, that penalty save he made, exceptional, top quality save. With his weaker hand as well, he got down fast. And how often do you see keepers saving penalties like that aren't aimed for the bottom post, but aimed for like the higher sections? World class goalkeeping in that moment. And of course, that big mistake he made in the game. I've seen this goal so many times, and I have to admit, I do sympathize a bit. The trajectory of the ball, the way it dips so quickly near the ends, it's very hard, I think, for most keepers to deal with that. I understand maybe Kepa should have been safety first, and with hindsight, that was the best approach. I feel with Kepa, he's going to know the mistake he made, and I think if he's forced in another similar situation like this, expect him to go for the safety first approach. But on top of that, you guys, I thought Kepa's handling from set pieces was quite good today. At times, there were a few mistakes, notably from his passing out from the back, in particular, another silly mistake in the first half. Now, to balance things out and to give him a score, when you balance the pros and the cons, I think it's safe to assume that Kepa is going to score a 6 out of 10. Now, we move on to Azpilicueta at left back, and for me, I thought Azpi wasn't great. Now, it was a combination of the tactical setup, the system, and of course some of Azpi's own liabilities himself. In the end, it didn't paint a very nice picture. I thought Azpi struggled quite a lot, and he was one of the main reasons why Valencia were able to get a lot of joy against us down that right hand side. When he moved into a back three system, he looked a lot more comfortable. I think that's how Azpi prefers to defend now. He needs that support around him. That's how he's always been able to do what he does. For that reason, you guys, Azpi is going to score a 5 out of 10. Now, we move on to Kurt Zouma. For me, he was our best centre-back. He struggled at times with his positioning because he was forced out wide to the left to have to help support Azpi time and time again. At times, it meant that his passing out from the back wasn't as great, and I felt that he was playing quite a lot of safe and negative passes from deep that was really just forcing Valencia on us. But regardless, with Kurt Zouma, when it comes to defending, I think he's our best defender. Crucial blocks, crucial headers, interceptions. Let's not forget too, he got the assist for Pulisic's goal. I was hoping that he was going to score from that. It's about time that he does. But again, you guys, let's not pretend that this was Zouma's best game. It was very standard in my opinion. For that reason, Kurt Zouma is going to score a 6.5 out of 10. Now we move on to Andreas Kristensen. And I felt like he wasn't tested as much, down that right hand side where teams don't tend to focus any attacks, really. I felt like Kristensen had to be analysed by his positioning, his covering, and how he moved the ball out from the back. I thought that him and Reece combined quite well at times. I thought Kristensen was decent in the air as well. And I thought it was a standard performance from a player that hasn't played as much due to injuries. So for that reason, Kristensen is going to score a 6 out of 10. Now, to complete the back four with Reece James at right back, and I felt like he was very impressive and overall the best defender in the game. With Reece, he got forward really well. He put in some very dangerous balls time and time again. Some of his invention from playing out from the back was very crucial on top of that as well. Of course, as the game went on, especially in the second half, he visibly looked exhausted. He looked really tired. He was finding it hard to play from box to box, so that was understandable. Defensively, from a 1v1 point of view, I thought he did really well going up against Skyer. And you could see that the Valencia players were showing signs of respect that, you know what, this guy's coming in quite hard at times, but, I can't do anything. Look at the size of him. Look at his size. The guy's a beast. The guy's a tank. And you know what, with Reece James putting in performances like this, you can only be happy, you can only be positive. And for that reason, I'm going to be giving Reece a 7.5 out of 10. Now we move on to the midfield, starting with N'Golo Kante. And I felt like at times the game kind of, I wouldn't say passed him by, but his influence wasn't as extreme as in previous games. Now, of course, with Kante, some of his finishing in the final thirds, listen, you guys, I'm expecting more from Kante in these areas now. He's really got better in them. He had a fantastic opportunity to get the first goal. He never got that. Tackles in the game as well. Well, I don't remember Kante making too many tackles. And I felt like he looked a bit tired as well. Against Man City, maybe we misunderstood just how intensive the game was from a physical point of view. With the players travelling to Valencia as well, not really getting the normal rest that they tend to have. I feel like it took a toll on some of the players in the team, especially being Kante. I'd probably say it was Kante's weakest game this season so far, and for that reason, I'm going to give him a score of 6 out of 10. Now, moving on to Jorginho, and again, it was another game where, his lack of ability to sense danger in behind. Now, the Jorginho, whenever he sees the ball in front of him, that's when he's best at defending. He's a proactive type of player that likes to defend on the front foot, pressing, closing down opponents, etc, etc. But I really feel like as a team at times, when our team balance is not on point, when we leave large gaps in behind, I don't think Jorginho's that midfielder right now that has the legs, that has the ability to sense the danger, to drop deeper and prevent the danger. So it wasn't the best game from him from that perspective. Of course, his movement of the ball, it's always going to be good. One of the best short passes in Europe right now. But that lack of defensive ability at times can really affect the team. I thought it was very harsh in the manner in which he picked up his yellow card. We all know that was complete nonsense. It was complete fake. The way he got the penalty as well, again, it feels like the referee messed up again. I don't know, you guys, it was not the most perfect game from Jorginho. His second game in a row where he hasn't been amazing. For that reason, I'm going to score Jorginho a 5.5 out of 10. And to end things with Mateo Kovacic, wow, after 122 games, after like 1,000 shots he's taken playing for us as well, he finally got a goal, and my God, what a top quality goal that was. I mean, his first touch, lay up the shot as well, the technique, and it seems to have spurned Kovacic on. It feels like it's something he's working on in the training sessions quite a lot, because he looks like he has that confidence in front of goal right now. And maybe Lampard's thinking, listen, times where I can't use a Mason Mount in the team, with your dribbling ability, with your ability to create space, you need to be much more effective at getting goals. You need to be much more effective at testing the goalkeeper. Hopefully that's something we'll see Kova do. If Kante can do it, I'm sure that Kovacic can do the same thing as well. Yesterday's game, he was our standout midfield player again. He's one of the best midfield players around right now, and he was unlucky not to get more goals in the game. For that reason, Kova is going to score an 8 out of 10. Now we move on to the front three, starting with Willian up front. And you know what? I thought that Willian looked quite decent at times. At times, his forward passes to the strikers, you'd always hope that's an aspect that Willian would get better at. Maybe it comes down to him playing down the right-hand side where, playing with his right foot means that he can't find those right passing angles every single time. I'm not too sure. I'm just trying to think of why he can be so inconsistent at making those passes. But regardless, his application, his movement, his deep progressions with the ball, his defensive ability down the right-hand side as well. And for that reason, he is going to score a 7 out of 10. We move on to Christian Pulisic, and I have to say, overall, one of our best players tonight. Pulisic was very impressive, very inventive. His control, his first touch, his ability to beat a man. I really feel like this guy is missing out on an Emerson and a Mason Mount to play with him, because I'm not seeing Pulisic being able to make those runs in behind in the opposition box. If he can do that more often, he'll naturally get more goals. He looked threatening on the ball every single time, and for that reason, I'm going to score Pulisic a 7.5 out of 10. To end things with Tammy Abraham, and very unfortunate with his injury in the game. I thought that he looked very impressive. He looked very competitive. He looked like he was up for a fight against Paulista and against Garay. And quite a lot of times, he was coming out on top. You know, his physicality, his hold-up play. I'm liking that Drogba-esque chest control that he's starting to do a lot more now. I thought that he was unlucky with his injury, and let's hope that it's not too serious. But for that first half display, Tammy looked hungry. I thought that the goal was definitely coming. Unlucky that Zillison made an incredible world-class save to prevent him getting the first goal in the game. Tammy is going to score a 7 out of 10. Now, moving on to the subs, we start with Michy Batshuayi, and I have to say, you guys, it was very disappointing. You know, in a game like this where you're playing with a back five system, you need your striker to hold up the ball, and that was something Michy couldn't do. The only times Michy looked threatening was when he was inside the opposition box, trying to take shots on goal, but these were more low effort opportunities that were more hope and pray, if anything else. I've always felt that he needs to improve on his overall game. I'm not too sure, you guys. I like him a lot. His personality is great, but in yesterday's game, he was not what we needed. For that reason, he is going to get a 5 out of 10. We move on to Emerson. And when Emerson came on, he looked confident. He looked like he was ready to go. And I think Lampard made a big mistake not to start this guy in the game. You know, Emerson's ability to go forward was really useful at times. You know, how many times was he carrying the ball from really long distances? He went on a great run in particular in the second half as well. It looked like he was trying to find the strikers more with some of his delivery inside the box. And yeah, honestly, Lampard should have started him from the beginning. Emerson is going to score a 6.5 out of 10. And we end things with Mason Mount to complete the team. And Mason didn't have too much time to influence the game. I commend him for his defensive abilities. You know, he was going for every single ball. He was getting tight to his opponents, going for aerial balls that we know that he isn't going to win at all. But that's the application and the mentality of the player. It was hard for him though, because the front players were quite isolated from the rest of the team. But, you know, Mason still put in a solid defensive performance. So for that reason, he is going to score a 6 out of 10. But you guys, to complete the player ratings video, I need to give a score to Frank Lampard. And the score Lampard is going to receive is going to be a 5 out of 10. And the main reason for that, you guys, were the tactical mistakes. I thought the lineup decisions as well wasn't great. There was no game plan to stop Valencia down that right-hand side. He didn't really help us have any solutions to counter that. And you know, I think the decision to make it a 5 at the back, I understand it, but at the same time, I think we're a team that's much better defending by keeping possession and keeping the ball. By taking off Jorginho to play a more, you know, passive style of football, I wasn't too sure about that, you guys. And anyway, you guys, that's going to be me for today. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you guys later.